whole story began with this. And I bought this as a present for my daughter, and it was on the sale table in the local toy store here in Amherst, and it had, as you can see, a crack on it, which is why it was on sale. And I thought, well, if I'm giving her a damaged Matryoshka, I should probably make up a story about it, both to compensate for the fact that it's not perfect, but also to kind of explain, why she's like this. So I wrote my daughter this story. This was a Christmas present for her, and I called it The Last Matryoshka. And I'm not an illustrator, so all of these were my little homemade amateurish illustrations. And this is, I typed it, it tells you how old this book is. I typed it and printed it out and then glued them on my little pages here. And I wrote this little book for my daughter. Let's see, and here she is at the end where she gets the last Matryoshka at the end here. And I gave this to her with the doll as a Christmas present. And here she is. I can actually, do you want me to take this thing out of here?
I love that so much.
Here's a picture of my daughter playing with it. And she had gotten the idea, she was naming them all and putting them one inside the other. And that's really where the idea came from, with the one inside the other. And I named all of the characters in the story after Chekhov characters in Chekhov short stories, since I teach Chekhov in my classes, and they're Russian, and I needed Russian names, so all of them have Russian names. She enjoyed the story, her friends enjoyed the story, and then someone said, oh, well, you really should try to sell it. So I had to take this story that I had written just for her and try to make it give it a little more shape, give it a little more finish, and the story got changed, and it got revised many times, and then it got sold to Hyperion Books for Children. And they picked an illustrator for the book who seemed quite nice, and he did sketches for the book, little thumbnail sketches, and everything seemed on course. And then the editor left, and they got another editor, and the new editor did not like books.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
The editor left, and they got a new editor, and the new editor did not like the original illustrator whom had been selected. So I guess they paid him off, and they went out to find a new illustrator. And as luck would have it, they found Kathy Brown, who by chance happened to live in this area, and I had met her at a party at Jane Yolen's house. So I knew her slightly, and I loved her illustrations. Kathy and I met at the Jeffrey Amherst Inn for tea, and she was about to begin working on the Littlest Matryoshka, and I brought Matryoshka, the actual one, and gave it to her, lent it to her for the time that she was working on the illustrations. I remember it was in a special box. Kathy unwrapped it. I said goodbye to it, and off it went. And as you can see, she modeled very well. She's stayed quite still for all of Kathy's things. One thing about Russian nesting dolls, they stand still. And Kathy went off, and I didn't see her for months and months. And I knew she was working on the book. But basically, she was working on it on her own. And I was just waiting. And then I guess I saw the thumbnail sketches, and I knew, oh, great, this book is going to be terrific. And then I saw some of her more finished illustrations, and I knew we had a wonderful book.